This interview is going to be super exciting. Today I have with me one very big man doing amazing things for people in Ghana and people in the diaspora. And we want to get to know him, understand his story, his motivations, what success stories he has when it comes to building in Ghana. Welcome to the channel. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Henry Bart-Plange, CEO of Bart The Builder company. I've been to construction for about 25 years now. I traveled to UK and came back and I decided to do my own thing. So I opened the Bart The Builder company for about 1.5 years now. Okay. That's when we are still in existence. So I'm saying 1.5 years now we are in existence.
Okay. But you said you've been in building and construction for about 25 years.
Yes, please.
So it means you were working for a company.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was working once with a company, an architecture company called Incept Architecture Consult for about 6 to 10 years. Wow. Then he moved me. The company got a big project at Glacier Hills, airport residential area there, around Che Homes. Okay. Then I had to go there solely do that whole estate. Okay. That's where I worked for about close to 15 to 16 years.
Okay, so pause. When you were growing up, what did you want to become?
Whoa, that's my dream.
You always wanted to go
into building, yes, because I love building, and everything about building makes me excited. Once I see the drawing and I'm being given the drawing by the architect, I always want to do something challenging. Not only the square building, I want to see difficult things that even if I have to go and sleep, I will not rest until I find a ways and means to achieve that thing that also made the client happy. That's my main aim.
When it comes to the building industry, right, what is your role? Is it like a project manager, you're a contractor, you're an engineer? What is your role?
I'm a contractor.
Okay.
So I'm a contractor, so I know little bit of all the aspects, but mainly I'm a contractor.
What's the inspiration for Bart The Builder?
So after I travel, then I met a client of mine, which it's her place that we are doing this interview. Okay. Then again, give me the encouragement that, wow, you've been doing so much. Why don't you start something on your own? And before leaving Ghana, that's my dream also. That I will not come back, working for someone. That I say, let me just start this and we get the name also.
It's very interesting when you talk about leaving Ghana, right? Because many people leave Ghana and they don't want to come back. Yeah. But then you left Ghana to the UK of all places and decided to come back to Ghana in this heat to come and build for people. So how has the experience been from the past 1.5 years?
Frankly speaking, I will not say it's easy. Okay. Because I have families that I have to let the decision that I took without them knowing that I'm going to stop my job. So I was in UK, then I resigned. So coming to Ghana, come and do only this project that we are in now, not knowing what next may will come from. So it's,
step of faith.
That I barely trust. Most of my workers know that any project we get, I tell them it's not me, it's God who is giving us this job. And lo and behold, from one end we move to another. Because I also tell them that they should do it as if they are working for their own. You should say, we will not be here every day to defend any mistake that we do. The project should speak for us. Any person just walking by will see that, hey, I like these people. Let me just contact them. And lo and behold, all the 4 projects that we had here, I didn't sell myself. It's my work and my signage that is selling me.
Yeah, speaking of the signage, when I came and I saw the branding, I felt the branding is good.
Thank you.
I'm sure you picked it up from working over the years and all that. So the branding is amazing. So let's move from the branding and let's look at the work itself. Mm-hmm. When you are taking on a project, what are some of the things that you look out for?
First, I had to talk to the client. Okay. Because, excuse me, I'm not the one going to stay in the house. It's the client. So the client's happiness is my priority. Let me go and have a look at the site. Okay. That's first. So I'll see my challenge, what I'm going to encounter. Then if he has a drawing, he or she has a drawing, then I demand for the drawing. Okay. By looking at the drawing, I go to the house alone, punch holes into the drawing. Because, excuse me, some of the architects do some nice designs, but they are not applicable. Though they are applicable, but there are some places become redundant that make the client be spending much into maintenance, into keeping out the places. So after I punch holes into those things, making the client know what he or she is getting, then I meet the client. Are you aware you are having this? Are you aware you are having this? If he or she say, I'm okay with it, then we then go ahead. Then I then tell the client, okay, I'll prepare the estimate for you. Things are difficult in Ghana. Come to the client level. There's no anyone who I would say have money in the room to finish a house. That some people have it. Then I then divide my estimate into stages. That's the foundation, the ground floor, the first floor. If it's going to the next floor, maybe you may have money to only the foundation. Then you finish it up, you inspect, you come to the site anytime you want, you inspect it, you are okay, then we move to the next stage. Then you pay me per stages. I don't demand all the money from you. And also we negotiate per what you can afford. If you want me to do only labor for you, you want me to do materials and labor, then I always have feeling for the client that I want to put up their building for them. I want to see their dream come to perfection. So some of the money, some of the places I'll lose, I'll gain. But my aim is seeing the structure down. That's what makes me happy.
Tell us a bit about this project. How many bedrooms, how many stories, etc.?
A 3-bedroom house. You have the living room, the master bedroom is downstairs. The 2-bedroom at the left and right wing is an open kitchen. Have a pantry, have a laundry, have a study. Yes, and even with the staircase I are saying, I want to leave a dent, a mark to the client to know that, hey, this contractor did this thing for me. So it was normal straight flight, and then I look at the client. Hello. I said, this with your open space, you can't have just straight flight there. It will not be nice. Let me create something for you. Then I did it. That's what by the client love it so much, and say, wow, Henry, you've made, because you can't sit in the hall seeing a straight flight. Then I then bring in some few ideas for her. Family area, we have a void that you can stand at the top, look at downstairs. Yeah, so it's basically 3-bedroom, have a pool, you have a sunken area. So some of this work, you are restricted. You have to be digging the pool at the same time the foundation.
So how long has it taken for the structure to be up?
For at this stage to reach, we are about 1 year, 5 months.
So how many people do you work with?
I have about 40 workers.
Wow.
And some are casual, some are permanent workers.
So in the 1.5 years, right, how many projects have you worked on?
I've worked about 5 projects. The 6th one is yet to come. We are still signing.
So at any point in time, how many projects can you take on?
Whoa, I can take about 4 to 3 projects. Because the reason is the way I work passionate. I love construction. I don't want to do anything for my client, not be happy. I can take more, but always I want to be there, see what is going on. I don't want to leave it for my workers, then they do say the client will come, will not be happy.
You want to be able to supervise.
Yes, and quality is done. So that's what is selling us. So if I'm not there and bad work is done,
it goes against
me. Yes, please.
You spoke about something interesting, and that's why I really wanted to interview you, right? About how, for me, I've been preaching that if people want to build, they need to make time to supervise.
Yes.
Right? Because if you don't have time to supervise, you don't even start a building project. What are your thoughts on it, and how are you helping people, especially those in the diaspora, or people who don't have a lot of time to build and supervise?
Thank you very much. Most of my work, my former workplaces, or that I work with my former companies, most of the clients are not in Ghana. Okay. That's where I built my experience from. Okay. And I've been trained to, use other means to make the client feel like, understand what is going on. So about 4 or 3 of my projects that I'm doing currently, I'm from here, the clients are not in Ghana. If we start a project and the client is not here, what I do is first, once the client understood the drawing, what we are going through, I do a line mark out of the main plan every day, making sure he got his pictures, WhatsApp pictures, videos, every blessed day, what is going on the site every blessed day. Some client will say, oh, because I'm at work, give me weekly or give me every day. So which means every day, there's no single day that nobody's working on your site. Except holidays or except some because of the weather or something. We work every day on your site. You give you everyday pictures. Every progress is being given to you through pictures, through videos. You can call or at every stage, we give you what we are doing, the kind of material we are using. That's one. Second, also, some of the clients also, I will also propose to them, if you want, the architect who do the plan for you, you can engage him to help you to, see what is going on, supervise for you. Or if your relative is in Ghana, but if you are comfortable, if you are not comfortable, if you are comfortable also, I can go ahead and tell you day in and day, I'll send pictures day and what is going on. And also, I made my clients also know that you are not restricted to the client, to the site. You can come any day to come. You can, wherever you are, you can visit the site anytime you want. That's how. And also, one thing is a trust. Because one thing we believe, or one thing that we know is the experience of what I've learned, what I've seen, is that you give money to contractors, then they use cheap materials, they scorn away with your money. Before he finish your project, he might have built two of his own. So that is the perception. So they use cheap materials, cheap labor, everything that they use. You come back, you find yourself, you not be happy. And as I'm speaking to you, this client, when she walked in, she was weeping. She has to choose between 3 or 4 people before she choosing me. Yes, and it became difficult because we are a bit close, family related. The aspect of using your family member and disgrace you or fail you is not only between you and the person, but it will run in the family. So that's what she had to be. In time choosing, but she gave me the opportunity, and she never regretted. Yes, the living room, we have an island here. That the living and dining. The kitchen unit will be here. The kitchen wall is here. It's an open kitchen. We have the pantry. Okay, this is the main entrance to the house. It's a pivot door. Yes, please. And also, this is the visitors' washroom. Okay, this is the master bedroom. So basically, my client is the type that enjoy partying, right? Okay. So she want to have the feel of everywhere. So she have her own terrace here, the sunken area, and the pool. So whilst in the master bedroom, she can have her own coffee and everything here at the outside, the terrace here, and the barbecue will be at the corner there. Yes, and we are now, this is walk-in closet, master washroom also. So we are now going to the upper rooms where we have 2 of the bedrooms, family area, and the study. Yes, with the balustrade, the client brought her own design. She just did a sketch of it. Then she said, this is what she wants. She wanted a wrought iron. Then we have to do a first design. She said, yes, that's what I want. And the same applies to the balustrade downstairs. She brought her own design. Then we had to do for her. They mount it. I tell you, she was so happy to see it being done. And also, we have spotlights all over. We have chandelier down, spotlight also all over here. Yes. So basically everything that we see here, that's her proposal. That's what she says she wants. Yes, that's what I do. I always want to know the client, what they want before I propose. If it's all right, I then propose to them. Some of the clients are top notch. They know what they want, so you can't convince them. But those don't know anything, or those are a bit novice, you try to advise them and also propose some things to them. But clients who know what they want, they are very easy to work with. And also sometimes also we are a bit flexible for the clients, because they can provide their own materials that we can work with, or we can at the same time provide all the labor for them. We normally don't want to, impose into them, tell them this is how it goes. We are a bit flexible, because one thing I believe in is every client with their taste, every client with what they want. You may be working with A client. If you go to B client, you will be shocked of what he or she wants. So different, every client what they want. Some, have traveled. Some have seen. Some have know their taste. So if you are working with such people, you cannot just say this. You have to let the client choose he or her own things. By working along with the client, then it will make the work easy also.
Okay, so for example, the tiles that we are seeing, right? Is it a client that selected them or you purchased them?
Yes, please. It's the clients that selected them. She came to Ghana about last 6 months before we started the project. Then me and her went to some places. Then she chose the tiles. Before we start laying, I then had to go again see whether that tile that she chose is still available. So lo and behold, it was still available, but we couldn't have the same quantity. Then we then had to force to choose between this and that. Then she then had to choose, okay, the bedroom should be this color and the living room and the other one had to be this color. Because it's a good question. Because every client, if that is someone Spanish, Italian, China does. So who am I to say, hey, go for this? So that's why I'm making always feasible for them. The most important thing about the building is the core and shell, the structure being down. Once I do the structure for you, the other things can easily come along. Yes.
All right, so we are with the homeowner who Bart the Builder is building for. I want to get to know her perspective as well. So kindly introduce yourself.
Well, nice to meet you. My name is Annette. I am the homeowner of this property, and we've been building for about a year and 5 months so far.
Okay, so in terms of the project, right, what has the experience been like from the onset? I'm sure you purchased the land yourself.
Yes, so I decided one December when I was down in Accra, just for a holiday, to purchase the land. I used a reputable company to purchase the land. I knew nothing about purchasing lands in Ghana. So yeah, it's the first time I've ever done anything like this.
How's the experience been working with Bart?
It's honestly, I was expecting the experience to be a little bit more stressful, but working with Bart the Builder, everything seemed to have just been stress-free. I'm still shocked that there hasn't been more bumps in the road along the way.
He said when you came to see the building today, you were weeping. Yeah. Why is that so?
I think when you're building from abroad, although I'm getting updates, weekly, daily updates, it's different when you actually come to site. The last time I came, we had the foundations and you couldn't really see the vision. I think now that I've come, I was crying because I can see where my money has gone. And I can see that it's gone to good use. And I'm just really happy with the finishing. Yes, it's quite an emotional time.
In terms of the duration, how long do you think the building project will take?
So initially, thinking how maybe immature I was when it comes to building, I thought I'd be done in a year. And then you realize that actually good things take a little bit more time. And definitely when it comes to finances, you have to take a lot more into account. I think I didn't realize that there's so much more just other than, the block structure of the building that was needed. So 12 months I thought. I think at this point we are at a year and 5 months.
And then in terms of cost, how much did you estimate to spend on the building project? So
in terms of cost, initially when I estimated, I thought, okay, maybe because I'm from the UK, I was thinking maybe anywhere between 100 to 150,000 in cost. And I think, we're around that amount. However, I think it really depends on your finishing, and my standards are a bit high. So I think when it comes to the finishing, that's where the bulk of the money comes from. And I think that's taking a little bit more time just because I want everything the standards.
Is the house the way you dreamt of it? I mean, you had your dream house in mind, right?
Yes.
When you came, is that what you saw in your dreams?
Yes, honestly, I think, we're not 100% there, but from what I've seen come into sight, we're definitely on track. As I said, what you see in your dreams versus reality, you have to be able to put down the money to get that dream. The dreams don't come because, you're dreaming about them. You really do need to ensure that you're budgeting, you're clear about the costs on a number of different sides.
Okay, so 1 year and 5 months, I'm sure you've learned a lot about building. What are some of the tips you can give for people who are now starting their building project?
Okay, so for people who are starting their building project, number one, the budget you have, I would add another 25% on top of that at least. Although you might have your bill of quantities, so many things can happen. And as I said, with the standard of finishing you want, if you want that modern finish, that look, you want to have Wi-Fi connection strong, I don't know, borehole, all of those kind of things, add additional money on top. One thing that I would say for anyone building is that you have to be very clear to your builder, your construction company, as to what you want. And so the architectural plans are probably the most important aspect. Look at it with a fine-tooth comb. Even if there's 1 meter that you feel it should be 2 meters, go back and get the architectural plans redone. It really makes a difference. It makes people on site their job much easier. And then lastly, I would say, take into account that things may be slightly different in Ghana than what you might expect in the UK or the US, wherever you're from. So take that into account. You know, your builder will try as much as they can to replicate what you want, but there might be slight differences.
Okay. And when it comes to choosing a contractor, what are some of the things that you would, recommend to people who are starting, especially the people who are in the diaspora?
Yeah, I think when you look for, let's talk about if you're looking for anybody to trust with anything. Okay. So, if I'm giving you $50 and I'm trusting you to go and buy something, you have to think about the qualities that you look for in that individual. Transparency is number one. And I think for me, it was important that I got those updates via, WhatsApp, etc. And for me, daily, weekly, especially videos, because sometimes pictures, you don't really get the full picture. And so the videos are very important. And when you don't like something, just say it, because don't say it at the end. Okay. By that time, now it's a big deal. They have to now do 101 different things to change it. So I would say, definitely transparency and making sure that you're able to voice your opinion.
Will you put up another structure after this? Would you consider going into real estate?
Yeah, of course. If anybody wants to give me money to build their house, I'll do it. I'm really into interior design. Okay. So most of the interiors I've picked myself. Okay. So definitely that's my bag. The building, I'll leave that to Bart the Builder.
Okay. Do you have any business you want to plug? You said you're into interior design. Do you have like a...
Yes, I would say in Ghana, I think the interior design looks for most of the properties that I've been stalking on YouTube, and they all look the same. Yeah. I was trying to do something different, so bringing more of a Nordic look, much more of a Bali vibe. So it's very kind of plain, but at the same time taking into account using good wood, using good materials, as opposed to, using a lot of glass and marble. That's what I see in a lot of the homes. So I'm trying to move away from that and make it much more of a villa style that you would see in maybe other countries that tourism is pretty high.
Would you be open to doing like consultation for people who want to build from the diaspora, etc.? Yeah,
absolutely. I'm very open and I'm very upfront. So if you tell me you have £20,000 and you want to build, I'll probably tell you that you need to save a little bit more money. It's not for the weak building. So you have to be diligent. You also have to be tenacious. You have to ensure that you don't get bored of it, because every day they'll be asking you questions. You have to be on it.